King Hezekiah was healed. He felt strength coursing back into his limbs. The dread illness, a sentence of death, was gone. Gratitude filled him. He would live. Then, news arrived. Envoys from Babylon, a distant and powerful land, had come to congratulate him. Hezekiah, flush with relief and newfound vigor, saw an opportunity. He would receive them with grandeur, showcasing Judah's prosperity. Hezekiah, in that moment, felt the intoxicating allure of pride. He was a king, favored by God, blessed with wealth and power. He would show these foreigners the might of his kingdom. He would bask in their admiration, a testament to his leadership and God's favor. Yes, he would give them a spectacle they would never forget. Yet, a whisper stirred within him, a whisper of caution, a prickle of unease. Was this display of wealth truly necessary? Was it wise to reveal the extent of Judah's treasures to these strangers? Hezekiah brushed the thought aside. Fear was a weakness, unworthy of a king. He had nothing to hide. His prosperity was a gift from God, a testament to his faithfulness. The envoys, he imagined, would return to Babylon with tales of his greatness. They would speak of his kingdom's riches, of his power and influence. His name would be whispered in the courts of kings, a beacon of strength and prosperity. The thought warmed him, fueled the growing flame of pride in his heart. He pushed aside the nagging voice of caution, choosing instead to revel in the anticipation of his own glorification. The day arrived. The palace gleamed. Hezekiah, adorned in his finest robes, received the Babylonian envoys. He showed them his treasury, his armory, every corner reflecting the glory of Judah. Gold, silver, precious stones, he held nothing back. The envoys gasped, their eyes wide with awe and envy. Hezekiah basked in their admiration, his heart swelling with pride. He told them of his miraculous recovery, of God's favor upon him and his kingdom. He spoke of his own wisdom and strength, of the prosperity he had brought to Judah. His words echoed in the grand hall, a testament to his own perceived greatness. The envoys listened intently, their faces a mixture of awe and thinly veiled greed. Then, silence fell. Prophet Isaiah, God's own mouthpiece, stood at the chamber entrance. His face, normally radiating peace, was grave. He looked at Hezekiah, his gaze piercing the veil of the king's self-satisfaction. "You have shown them everything," Isaiah said, his voice heavy with sorrow. "All that belongs to you will be theirs. Nothing will be spared." Hezekiah froze. The warmth of pride turned to a cold knot of fear in his stomach. The prophet's words hung in the air, heavy with doom. He stammered, attempting to speak, but no words came out. The envoys, sensing a shift in the atmosphere, looked on with a mixture of curiosity and amusement. They had witnessed the king's pride. Now they would witness his downfall. Isaiah continued, his voice echoing the words of God. "They will take your descendants, your sons, your very lineage. They will be made eunuchs, servants in the palace of the Babylonian king." A wave of nausea washed over Hezekiah. His sons, his legacy, all to be taken, their futures twisted by the insatiable hunger of Babylon. "But," Isaiah added, his voice softening slightly, "this will not happen in your days. It will occur after you are gone." Hezekiah clung to those words. Not in his lifetime. A reprieve, a stay of execution. He would be spared the pain of witnessing his lineage's suffering. A wave of relief, selfish and immediate, washed over him. Section 6. The Weight of Legacy. Alone in his chamber, the weight of Isaiah's prophecy pressed down on Hezekiah. His heart ached with a mixture of guilt and dread. He had been vain, foolish, blinded by pride. He had displayed his wealth like a trinket, a child showing off his toys. He had forgotten for a moment the true source of his blessings. He had forgotten the weight of his responsibility, the sacred duty of his kingship. Hezekiah thought of his sons, young and vibrant, filled with life. The image of them, broken and enslaved in a foreign land, was unbearable. He had endangered his own bloodline, condemned them to a fate worse than death, all for a fleeting moment of vanity. The weight of his actions, the sheer magnitude of his mistake, threatened to crush him. Section 7. Humility's Embrace. As the night deepened, despair gave way to a profound sense of humility. Hezekiah realized the true extent of his transgression. He had placed his trust in earthly possessions, in the admiration of men, instead of in God's unwavering love. He had sought his own glory, instead of the glory of his Creator. In that moment of painful clarity, Hezekiah fell to his knees. He prayed, not for forgiveness, but for guidance. He confessed his pride, his vanity, his foolish desire for earthly recognition. He pledged to live a life of humility, to use his remaining days to serve God and guide his people with wisdom and compassion. He prayed for strength to face the consequences of his actions, to prepare his sons for the trials that awaited them. Section 8. Echoes in Eternity. Hezekiah's story is a stark reminder that pride comes before the fall. It is a cautionary tale about the dangers of seeking worldly validation, and the importance of remaining grounded in humility and gratitude. It teaches us that true leadership lies not in amassing wealth and power but in serving something greater than ourselves. Though Hezekiah was spared the immediate consequences of his actions, his legacy was forever marked by that moment of vanity. His story echoes through the ages, a timeless lesson about the enduring power of humility and the far-reaching impact of our choices. It is a story that challenges us to examine our own hearts, to confront the subtle ways in which pride might be taking root. Section 9. A Timeless Lesson. Hezekiah's story is not just about kings and kingdoms, it is a story about each of us. It is about the choices we make, the values we prioritize, and the legacy we leave behind. It reminds us that true fulfillment comes not from external validation but from living a life of purpose, integrity, and humility. Let us learn from Hezekiah's mistakes and strive to live lives that are pleasing to God. Let us seek wisdom over wealth, compassion over power, and humility over pride. For in the end, it is not what we accumulate in this life that matters, but what we leave behind.